Yo guys, Coach Theo here on Common Sense. Today I want to share with you some thoughts about working out, training on vacation, both some actual, just general thoughts about how to approach it when you're on vacation, but also share my own upper body workout that I did this morning and a little bit of a lower body workout I did previously on vacation. I am on vacation, clearly I'm still doing some work, but it's still different compared to when I'm home. Yeah, guys, I'm so exhausted at this point because upon arriving here, I was very sleep deprived from multiple days of way too little sleep and sort of running on stress hormones, and now I've gotten a couple of nights of a lot better sleep. So now I feel physically well rested, but if I was high on stress hormones before, I'm like hungover on them. That looks like spirit energy is still high, but systemically a bit exhausted. So yeah, when it comes to training on vacation, I think it's different how you should approach it depending on who you are. For example, if you're someone it's more new to you to have you're building a better lifestyle with a better diet and having the exercise training routine, I think it's way more important to make sure that you don't lose that when you go on vacation. I'll give you an example for how it was for me when I was newer to this, and it wasn't necessarily a vacation, but I've been in this choir before, so we're traveling to do a competition, but it's still something I do as a hobby, right? And it's something out of the ordinary. I was still newer to training then, and so what I did immediately upon arriving there, or on my way there, was look up what's the gym in the hotel like. It sucked. So then I looked up what gyms are there around my hotel, and I found a gym where I could get 1 week free membership, and I got in some typical workouts. Just found some moments when we weren't rehearsing or actually competing or performing to get my workouts in, right? And I think it's way more, like I said, it's way more important when you're newer to it, because it's when you get out of your ordinary environment and just circumstances, that's when, it's easier to lose it and then, keep that up when you come back. Maybe you've been, even if it's vacation, maybe you're not necessarily well rested because you've done all these things and maybe slept too little, and now you haven't trained for a week and you come home and you're tired and you lose it, right? While someone like myself, I feel, because I train every day, not the same intensity of workouts every day, but I have no scheduled rest days. Let's go this way. I'm gonna be facing the sun more. No scheduled rest days in my training program. Just a couple of days that are way less intense. But for someone like me, I actually see going on vacation sometimes as a natural sort of deload. So either if it's a shorter, like let's say it's just a weekend trip or something, then I'll probably take the chance to not even train at all, because I don't really have any scheduled rest days like that. And it's actually just a good thing, because I also know that when I come back, I'm just gonna go back to doing things as I usually do them. And on a vacation like this, that's around 1.5 weeks, it's like, well, I like to train, so I don't have to take it a whole time off, but I can still just dial the seriousness of it down, prioritize. If I was to train, but then it turns out, all the guys here, they are gonna do this activity, I'll just be like, well, I can skip the gym today, right? And when I go train, it doesn't have to be quite as structured, but still, today's workout was quite a bit more structured and intense because I had the time, right? But what I will also do is, there is a gym here that is decent, this old school gym, nice, like Arnold feeling in there. On a rainy day or something, I'll go in there, but today is a fairly nice day. It's a little like milky, cloudy sky, but the sun is still coming through. And so there's an outdoor gym right there. And I always bring my Roman rings. It's like the best workout equipment I could recommend to everyone. It's like the most bang for your buck. You can always, if you can put up a pair of rings somewhere, you'll always be able to get a good upper body workout in. And of course, in the outdoor gym, there are often there's other equipment you can combine it with. So let me tell you about the upper body workout I did. First, let me tell you the general structure I think of when I design a good upper body workout. Since we're training everything on the upper body, I want 2 pulls and 2 pushes that sort of serve different purposes. And that's going to be our meat and potatoes. That could be enough for a lot of people. Many of my clients will recognize my programming from their workouts, their program. The fifth exercise I like to add many times is a upright row, because if we have two different pushes, two different pulls, we're gonna hit, you know, chest, a lot of back muscles, a lot of shoulder, but that middle delt. If you think I have good shoulders, it comes a lot from prioritizing what I feel is an undervalued movement by men, the upright row. So I could do upright row with this, you know, wooden machine they had there. And then on top of this, if you're even more advanced and if you want to fill in even more blanks, now we could add a couple of isolation exercises to address your weak points, which in my case I think is the arm. It's like I don't have bad arms at this point, but it's because I've really worked on it. So in my case, on top of these 5, I'd like to add 1 biceps and 1 triceps exercise. So what I did today was put up the rings. I put the rings in a position, actually, because my wrists are a little tender from all the muscle ups, so I could just have them in a position that feels good, like not quite supinated, not quite hammer, but a little bit in between of that. And then to make the pull-up a bit more challenging without weight, because I don't have it, lift my knees up, and that's going to be the same thing as a LC chin-up, just a bit easier still, but it's going to make the leverages worse and we're gonna make it more lat focused, right? And then this type of workout, I'll usually also be quite strict with the form. Get more out of less weight with a variation, but also by the way you perform it, just being a little bit more strict in the execution. Then the main push is a ring dip, same thing here, that I go really deep and almost pause at the bottom to just make them as heavy as possible without adding weight. The next exercise, so now we could do something with the rings, but since there were these wooden machines, I use one that's actually a deadlift, it says. Of course, these are always, they're not for like advanced natural bodybuilders, the standards on these machines. So I use it for like wide grip, bent over row. I get a bit more upper back and rear delt on my second pull. And then with the rings, I get into a bit of a pike position, you know, when you're not completely straight, you're a little bit lean forward to try to get more upper chest. And I do the push-up very flyy, right? Like presses and flies exist on a spectrum. Like something really close like this would be a very pure press. So with a very straight arm, be very pure fly. Let's see, where do we want to go? Now it's all this position with a little bit pike push-up and even pushing a bit in front to get more of an angle that's closer to like an incline press, and then to make it heavier, do it quite fly, like not quite a pure fly, but very far out towards the fly on the spectrum. So now we got our main pushes and pulls, right? I did an upright row in the same wooden machine that I did bent over wide grip row, get more mid delt. Then I took what I don't even know what that machine is supposed to be for, but I do it as like a French press. I get the wood up here for the triceps, and then finally again the same wooden machine that I did upright row and bent over row like that for a biceps curl. And I did 3 sets of each on these, and now I often do a last set. It's like beyond failure is often my approach, like do to failure or 0 reps in reserve on all sets, but go to failure, beyond failure with some kind of intensity technique on the last sets. Since it's a vacation workout, it's like these workouts are not really about pushing progress for me. You could absolutely do that with a workout like this, but you say that's how I approach it now. I want to get a good workout in to stimulate everything, but not necessarily to just give it my complete all to push progress, because that's just not the focus now. But on some of them, when there's just a little bit more available, like the bent over row there, the upright row, the bicep curls, might as well just rep out a few partial reps towards the end, right? And yeah, that was the workout. It's like a great workout. You can use this template. Often, guys, if you can just see the pattern, the structure, the system of something, you can take this kind of workout and just make up something similar. You know, if you don't have rings, you can do regular pull-ups, you can do regular dips, or if you're not as strong, you're not as advanced, right? You look for the pattern in the program, right? And then when it comes to something like legs is obviously tougher, like both tougher to train, but tougher to get like a good outdoor workout in like that. So what I do with the legs especially is the one session I've done so far I went and did 3 exercises in this gym. I only filmed the Bulgarian split squats, but I did leg curls, 3 sets. I did Bulgarian split squats just because it's the only like major exercise I'll do. I did more sets. I did like 6 sets working up, but then the 3 last sets, they're all like very close to failure, but I keep moving up in weight, so I get like fewer and fewer reps there. And then just some calf raises to get the calves in. And like that session, it's like 40 minutes and it's done, you know. And that could be a great, you know, if you're someone like me, when you train more seriously, you'll often count the lower back into lower body sessions, because especially deadlifts, but even squats will activate the lower back quite a bit. This is more of a very pure leg workout, but it definitely gets the job done. Like, I still feel a bit sore from this in my quads 2 days later. But yeah, just stop to think a little. Like, this is, of course, I just want to share some general thoughts, and you know, whatever points come up in the meantime that can be helpful, come up. But something I will say is what you can always do. You don't. When I say that someone that's newer to all of this should be like prioritize it more when they travel, it's still the case that you of course it's great. I managed, in the example I told you, I pretty much managed to train on that trick the way I usually do, but it's something I call it pressing save on the gains or protecting the progress. That even if you're not going to be able to push it as you usually would, just getting in some kind of minimum dose training, you know, just keeping what you have, holding on to what you have, and even just a habit of like, I prioritize to go get a workout in. So you could often cut what you do in half. I'll say, like, you know, if you usually do 4 or 5 exercises, 3 sets, if you remove an exercise and you do 2 sets instead, that's like good, right? Even 1 really hard set per exercise would get the job done. And what I'll say, as a super simplistic workout that is accessible for a lot of people, to just press save on the gains, is to have 1 push, 1 pull, and 1 squat pattern. And I would recommend something like a pull-up, like a wide grip pull-up, maybe a dip or some kind of push-up variation, and a Bulgarian split squat. Or if not a Bulgarian split squat, just some kind of lunge, you know, walking lunge, standing split squat, something like that. Like that, it's, of course, if we're talking about optimizing and hitting exactly everything, of course there are things that get a little bit less hit, but pretty much everything is getting stimulated to some degree. So yeah, guys, that's me sharing an upper body workout, vacation workout, little thoughts around that, how you can think about it. And yeah, well, I guess that's it for this time. And by the way, guys, since I'm going to be editing this video anyway, I think some of you don't even see the live streams, like that they come up not even after the fact. And we've had quite a few good live streams from my vacation now already. So I'll just, you know, remind you of that. You can watch them afterwards, and I think they've been a really good activity in the chat. Lots of good fuel for me to, you know, go off talking. So please go check them out. So you can like and comment, tell me what you do on vacation. I do holistic bodybuilding coaching, and just because I'm on vacation doesn't mean that I'm not open to taking on new clients. So if you're interested, you can send me a DM or email me. It's in the description below. I'll get back to you, tell you about my different programs. You can pick up my training book, everything training, philosophy, mindset related that you need in order to become a self-reliant, jacked and stacked individual. And please subscribe for more content about fitness, fast losing weight, building muscle, self-improvement, stoicism, mental health, philosophy, spirituality, mindset. It is a mindset, guys. Always press save on the gains, protect the gains, never take back steps that you don't have to take, okay? Peace.